Hello, this is Palico Padge and welcome back to A House with Many Doors. A little playthrough with this very, very weird game. We're on episode 2, not a lot to really delve into right away really to tell you. We have made it to this place called Clayton's Mill. I completely forgot then. And we are here to retrieve our memory which had been sucked out of our head via a drill and some sort of, I'd like to think, a spatula. Spatulas tend to come into a lot of things when it comes to surgery. I presume spatulas, scalpels, stuff like that, you know, bandages, just naming random medical equipment now. So there we go. We will crack on. We have, however, come across a frightful story of where the flame of the heart of our little vehicle has come from, and it's basically a human heart which has been ripped out by surgeons, and our surgeon is a raging alcoholic because he found this out, which I think is fair enough, really. You know, a major traumatic experience like that epiphany, that traumatic epiphany, is not something you tend to just throw by the wayside and get on with your life. You know, it's bound to affect you, so he's not too happy. We also upset the main guy who has the best stat for us, to the point where we're actually going to go drop him off and he's going to bugger off somewhere, which isn't good. But I'm jumping ahead of ourselves. Let's just crack on with where we left it the last time around. So we can go and have a look to see if we can find these memory thieves. We can do a test of vigilance, which is a bold proposal because we're at a disadvantage, which is to gain some sanity back, which I'm not too fussed. We can repair our hull. We can gather some news, which is going to cost us 15 guineas, which is fine. Or we can ingratiate ourselves. Clayton Canker and his crew could make very useful friends. I think we should probably concentrate on finding our memory first, so let's do that. Clayton's Mill is usually a cacophony of shouts and raucous laughter and the occasional spirited evacuation of bodily fluids, but when you approach it today, the windows are shuttered. Clayton Canker himself is behind the bar, a giant upper half of a man teetering atop clunky mechanical legs. He rubs the glass with a rag and eyes you carefully. But your attention is occupied by the room's other occupant, a woman whose face is covered by bright, sharp steel. Padga, she says coolly. Please sit. Now, just in case you missed the first episode, I accidentally hit the backspace when I pressed the enter button. So that's why we don't have E on the end. So we are known as Padga in this playthrough. It's very bloody annoying, but there we go. That's all I'm going to say. You know what? I'm going to stand. I know who you are. I'm going to stand. She shrugs. Suit yourself. Her iron beak is distinctive, and finally you recognise her. Lady Stymphalian, a noble woman from the City of Masks. You'd expect to meet her at a high society ball, not seated behind a horribly stained table in Clayton's Mill. I did not expect my men to survive in truth, she says. They knew they were martyrs. I came here not to meet them, but to meet you. Why did you send men to steal my memory? How dare you send men to drill into my head? So I've got a new memory now. Clocks and red mountains. What does it mean? Why fill my head with that? I'm just going to be very blunt with her. Why did you send men to steal my memory? We didn't care about which memory we stole, she says. We switched the memory boxes, you see. The memory you reclaimed was not your own. Okay, well, I've gathered that much so far. So, well, I'm weirded out, but I kind of want to know why. I don't think it's worth getting upset about it. It's happened. So so I've got a new memory now. Clocks and red mountains. What does it mean? Why fill my head with that? That memory has, well, the word infected is apt but unnecessarily negative, says Lady Stymphalian. It has altered you. We were blocked from you before, thanks to the machinations of your governor, but now we have a door into your head. You see, we are very interested in your search for an escape from the house, Padge. Watch for us in your dreams. She stands and begins to put on her black-laced gloves. I have explained as much as I care to. Understand that both of us are minor pieces in a very old game. Understand also that I have far less faith in you than my masters, and I believe things will end the same as always. Oh, well, cheers, love. Not only have you ruined my day by pulling a massive hole in my temple, but you don't even think that it was worth it in the first place. Cheers. Thanks. You're on the Christmas card list, you are. All right, so shall I demand that she tells me more? Or shall I let... You know what? Screw her. Let her leave. Let her leave. She tosses a purse of coins on the table. You had only one path ahead of you before, she says. Now you have a second, darker, less travelled. She nods to you and then to Clayton Canker behind the bar. He nods back respectfully. I do not expect to meet you again, she tells you. Sweet dreams. So we've gained 100 guinea. We've gained 10 apprehensions. And we've got our recollection concern concluded. And with that, she leaves. Clayton Canker shuffles from window to window, opening the shutters, and the clientele trickle back in one by one. Right. Well, okay. I'm guessing the dream thing will be kicking in to cover us on that. Do I want to do anything else? I would probably like to repair the hull. It's always best to have the machine in tip-top fashion, I would presume. So we'll do that. Your engineers help with the repairs, hopefully speeding the process along. It's still an agonising wait. You spent 2 days having your kinetopede fixed. At last, your kinetopede is returned to you, pristine. Nice. Sanity, I'm not too fussed about regaining sanity at this point, although unhinged doesn't sound the best. We could gather news. That might be a good way of opening up other options for us. A drunk bandit captain boasted that the canker was old and weak, and that it was time the mill changed hands. They never found his head. Well, there you go. Don't mess with Mr. Clayton. He's not too one to be messed with, I presume. Well, grist from the mill. And then we can ingratiate ourselves. Clayton Canker and his crew could make very useful friends. I concur. Clayton Canker is nowhere to be found, but Too Clever by Half is running a poker game in the corner. You know that the Kachar is one of Clayton's closest advisors. This could be an opportunity. Too Clever by Half looks up as you approach and offers you the kind of grin only a shark can produce. So we can do a test of guile, cheat to win. A bold proposal, okay. We can play without cheating. Success is highly unlikely, okay. We can play to lose. Everyone loves someone who loses at cards. Or don't join the game. I think it might be worth just sitting down at the table, although everything seems so expensive considering I don't have a lot of money. Let's play to lose. We'll see what opens up. You gnash your teeth. You throw your arms into the air with every bad hand. You howl and sigh and snarl with disappointment. It's a performance that is frankly wasted on these Philistines. Soon you've lost all your money. But you've won the hearts and minds of everyone in the bar. So our reputation's gone up, which is good. Come back soon. Too Clever by Half tells you. Yeah, I'm sure he did. And then we've got the test of vigilance, which I'm not too fussed about. So. We've got these apprehensions. How do I spend apprehensions? Not quite sure at the moment. So we need to be heading to the City of Keys, I think. Gather 50 apprehensions so you can dream once more of gold leaf trees. Oh, okay. Well, that gives us something to work towards, I guess. So, what has this done? Oh, these are shops. Right, so we have the fuel stop. A ramshackle fueling station has been set up by the door. The attendant has fewer teeth than fingers. Oh, okay. We've got 18 fuel. I'm going to keep the fuel. We have the bar. Alcohol at the mill makes up in strength what it lacks in everything else. The best kind of hooch. Well, the only kind. We can buy blinding hooch. What does it do? I have no idea. It's relatively cheap. We'll buy a couple. Well, we'll buy 4. Pretty Hess. She sits in the corner with an untouched beer, flanked by Kachar bodyguards. She buys and sells black market items on Clayton's behalf. Her nickname is ironic. So she's a no-go. Right, we have an obscene booklet. Pretty Hess would wink at you if she had enough eyes. We have the Witch's Butter. Genuine Mycena Brainstem, my love, fresh as a daisy. They're both quite expensive and I don't know what they do. So I don't know I want to be buying these just now. And we then have Too Clever by Half. A grinning Kachar in a sharp, custom-made business suit. He's an informed broker of sorts. The exact nature of his relationship with Clayton is ambiguous. Right, so we can have some scandalous gossip. We can have seditious whispers. A terrible secret. Or dread machinations is that word. And we sell those. The Kachar sniffs thin, ephemeral, little meat on the bones, but not wholly unappetizing. So where are these in conjunction with what I've got? Is this my information? I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. I don't want to be selling stuff which I don't know what it does or doesn't do at the moment. So we'll leave Too Clever by half, to which point I think we're done here. I think we need to leave. I suppose now would be a good time to figure out how we leave. Minus? Plus? Just makes it smaller. Leave the city or save the game. Let's leave the city. Which direction will you go? Right, so we want to head south, I presume? Well, we could go about the way we came. I suppose the best thing to do, to open more of the cities, travel south for 2 squares and then right. No, got that wrong. We want to go to the City of Keys, don't we? So down 1 and then just keep heading right. That's what we need to do. So south, a long way south, you'll find the Fortress of the Poet Knights. Go far enough west and you'll find Ghoul Watch. North, you'll find the City of Angels. Or City of Keys home to the east. We're going to go south. Oh, my bad. That was my bad. My bad. I pressed back, as in reverse, when I meant to press forward. It's tank controls. I'm not used to it. I'm used to pressing the direction I want to go in. So, oh, we got sort of like abandoned houses here. Someone has painted strange runes on the door to your quarters. Okay. So, anything of interest around here? Again, I presume it's going to be lit up if it's something we can interact with. So, I would say there's nothing along here at all. Hey ho, let's go. And here we are, rocking out with our light on and not a lot going on. Now, I do understand this game isn't as combat-centric as Sunless Sea, so we're not going to be constantly running into issues as far as damage or battles or anything like that, or even things just coming up from out of nowhere and killing us instantaneously and not really realizing what's going on. See, this is the same rock shape as the one before. As I approach, nothing happens. Good to note. Oh, bingy bangy. So we might as well just carry on heading in the direction we need to go into. Are we still going in the right direction? Yeah, we've got a fair few blocks to go yet, though. Oh, that's a big one. That's a really big one. I don't think I want to be messing with that just yet. So we're just going to keep it this way. I presume as long as our lights don't touch, he can't see us. So he can't hone in on us. We are quicker than him, which is probably a good thing. He's very big. And he's very long. And as quick as us. Again, I don't really want to be getting into too many battles just yet. If we can avoid it, we shall do so. We might be able to lose him around here. Run away! Run away! Oh, this looks very fortressy. Again, nothing to worry about. Lots of abandoned houses and bits of rock. But other than that, not a lot going on. Oh my life, that is a fucking massive thing. Does it? Oh, and it just walks over shit. It don't care. It don't care. A distant screen, the darkness swallows it instantly. That's fine by me. He's off. Thank Christ for that. That was massive. Oh, and here we are, the City of Keys. Tip top. You know the streets here, the accents, the looming skyline. Even the omnipresent sense of menace is, in its own way, comfortingly familiar. Can't get out. I'm a little bit nasal still off my cold. I do apologise. This is a city of brimming possibilities, each stamped out as quickly as it forms. This is the city that opened 1,000 doors, that founded extracellular colonies. This is the most prolific producer of keys in all the house. But all things must be measured against their cost. Orphan's Town, the Howling Pits, and most of all the factory, squatting vastly at the centre of the city, a bloated concrete tumour swollen to the size of a dozen castles. No matter how far you go, you will bring all this with you. So we can visit our dwellings, which I presume will be good for our sanity. An intricate city map catches your eye at the station. We can rest and, we rest and recover there. And is much cheaper, which is great. Write a freelance article. Wander the streets. A prospective passenger. The Howling Pits. And advertise for a new crew member. Well. I guess we'll start at the top and make our way down. You live in one of the brute concrete towers of Catgut Row, sharing a squalid room with a desperate family who make their living by begging and stealing. The streets outside are perilous after dark and stained black with soot and shit. There we go, just rubbing it in there. Not the shit, that is, the soot. We're not that dirty. So we can return to the streets. We don't want to be doing that. An invitation to 151 Withering Street. The letter is brief and unsigned. You have information that is of interest, it claims. We will buy it from you. Why not? Withering Street is a tranquil row of middle-class homes, now all leafy gardens and ornamental gnomes. 151 looks just as cheery as all its neighbours. You knock at the door. Is answered by a small man in an ill-fitting suit. He has a craggy face, unkempt stubble, alarmingly blue eyes. I am a governor's man, he exclaims, without preamble, ushering you inside. Sit down, talk. The inside of the house is devoid of furniture, except for a single velvet armchair into which the governor's man reclines. He looks up at you and smiles quizzically, hands folded in his lap. The governor's man will pay you for secrets with guineas and reputation. Well, okie dokie. So, I'm guessing this is the same as selling port... I forget what they're called now, like port reports in Sunless Sea. I don't think I want to be giving any of these up at the moment. So, what should I call you? You may refer to me as 151 Withering Street, says the governor's man, and perhaps one day a friend. That damn smile never leaves his lips. Okay, well, he'll pay you for secrets. Yeah, so again, I don't really want to be doing too much with anything we have as of right now, because we don't have a lot. Let's go back to our dwellings. So, pick up your fetch mirror. It is a vital piece of equipment for the serious intercellular explorer, and sets you back a pretty penny. You can't believe you left it here. Well, let's pick it up then. You pick up your fetch mirror, wearing gloves of course, and take it back to the cargo hold. This should come in useful if you need to get somewhere in a hurry. Gained a fetch mirror. Very useful indeed. You can pick up another from Dr. Grindylow, should you need it. What the bloody hell's a fetch mirror? With these you can leap into the mirror rise. Just step into the glass. Don't be alarmed when the mirror shatters. Just ensure you have enough seconds through which to return. Oh, you have a second through which to return. It allows you to instantly travel between large cities and that you've already visited. One use only. Okay, fair enough. We then have a letter from an old colleague at Porpoise College. Ambrose Monsoon, Professor of Assorted Esoterica. Quadriloquent and provocative in his youth, though you'd thought he'd settled down. This is available because you have childhood student or former profession scholar. Alright. Dearest Padge, without the E. It's a silent E, so we don't write it down. With you off embarking on your intercellular adventures, a thought occurs. Do you remember those long nights we spent in our youth, lamenting the college's pitiful lack of public museum? On your travels, you are sure to come across many strange and valuable artifacts. You could merely sell them off to the highest bidder, of course, but you must recognise the profound blow that would inflict to academia. We have a unique opportunity. With or without the college's blessing, we can make your findings into a collection and found a museum of your own. Perhaps foolishly, I've already leased a building on Broad Street. If you're on board with this venture, come and see me. So we may discuss our plans. Oh, and for a name, I was thinking the Padge Memorial Museum of Unnatural Curiosity. Not that you're dead yet, of course, but one day you will be, and then the name will make sense. With kindest regards, Professor Ambrose Monsoon. Okay, fair enough. Well, we've got to concern him for that now. Put the letter to one side. Perhaps you will pay Professor Monsoon a visit. Yes, maybe we shall. Right, we can't do these, so we're not worried about those. Work on your magnum opus. There is still much to be done. This requires one potential stream or one unique experience. You can only have one potential stream and no unique experiences. So we're not going to worry too much about that. The last one is writing a poem. A sudden flash of feverish inspiration. Damnation! Where is your pen? And that requires 3 moments of melancholy, 3 breathtaking spectacles, 3 droll recollections, 3 horrifying ordeals, 3 fragments of epiphany, 3 reflections on mortality, or 3 romantic encounters. Do I want to write a poem? I don't know what that does, do I? We're not going to use those up yet. Right, so that's our dwellings done. We then have an intricate city map catches your eye at the station. The wall is plastered with 100 copies of the same poster. Have you seen the city? Demands the poster. Below it is a city map, though not one you recognise. The city of glass was mysteriously moved into Principate territory in the year 1802. We are now in 1823 if you're keeping count. Reads the poster's smaller print. After the cities fought valiantly to reclaim it, it vanished again and has not been seen since. Can you help us find our 7th city? 20,000 guinea reward. That is juicy. Yes, I will definitely look out for that city of glass. There must be clues about the city's location. Perhaps you should ask your crew about this. One of them might have seen something. Indeed. Right, so this costs money. I'm not too worried about that. We can write a freelance article. You've returned with news from elsewhere. Time to write it down. Keep the flowery prose to a minimum. Current affairs. I guess we picked that up when we went to that other pirate town place. We can visit 151 Withering Street. If you have information he needs, the governor's man is waiting there. If you don't, you arrive and find just an innocent family home. Children playing in the garden. Requires sellable information. Well, let's see what he defines as sellable information, I suppose. From inside 151, you can't hear the cheering noise of its neighbours. Oh no, we did hear him. That was the other guy. I was thinking that was the museum. Ah, there we go. Visit the Padge Memorial Museum of a Natural Curiosity. Professor Ambrose Monsoon has extended a proposal. You should visit him and see if he is serious about the museum's business. The building on Broad Street is not quite the large marble edifice you may have hoped, but nor is it some eccentric fellow's basement, as you feared. It's a grand old mansion, shutter-windowed and cobwebbed and expensive. How did a mere pauper's college professor afford this? A crippling debt or an aristocratic background, or perhaps both? There you are, Professor Ambrose Monsoon himself bursts from the mansion's porch and hurries towards you, velvet coat-tails flapping behind him. He is a short, stocky man, buoyed with so much exuberance that he seems to occupy more space than he actually does. A taller, gaunter figure trails behind him. She's a black-haired, black-gloved, black-lipped. She's a goth, damn it, she is a goth. Shake the professor's hand. He doesn't give you much choice. His smile is so toothy, it's hypnotic. Meet Professor Elga Pute, says Ambrose, gesturing at the pallid woman behind him. She has expressed interest in joining us in this venture, and frankly, we need all the help we can get. So say hello, Elga. Elga turns her heavily lidded eyes to you. I have the privilege to be a professor of theoretical ghost torment, she says. The ghosts cannot stop whispering your name of late, Padge. Charmed to meet you. Yes, Ambrose coughs and runs his hand through his floppy blonde hair. Shall I show you around? It's rather empty right now, of course, but that will soon change. So what kind of exhibits will you need from me? Whatever you think is interesting, says Ambrose excitedly. Anything that has historical value or is unusually beautiful, or is of unusual beauty. May I suggest that a little gruesomeness would not go amiss, says Elga coolly, examining her black lacquered fingernails. The general public adore the bizarre and macabre. Ambrose coughs. Well, I'm not sure we want to be that kind of museum, he says. Well, when do we open? As soon as you have enough exhibits to attract a crowd, says Ambrose. And, well, we have to pass a government inspection too. The governor's men are always leery of anything that involves educating the public. Especially when it comes to other worlds or unsanctioned gods, says Elga. We must be careful to avoid those subjects, or the entire venture could be shut down. And then the debt collectors would come knocking, Ambrose gulps audibly. Well, let's have a look around my museum, I guess. The mansion is vast and creaking and in places afflicted by damp, but with a lick of paint it could make an impressive museum indeed. Ambrose has already cleared out all the furniture and filled the place with blank plaques and empty plinths. Bring me anything of interest, anything at all, he says, pulling out a colourful handkerchief and rubbing furiously at a patch of mould. When we have enough exhibits and the place is up and running, you'll get the lion's share of the profits. Oh, okay, well, that sounds pretty interesting. We'll go around and collect weird stuff like Ripley and Believe It or Not. What was his first name? That's going to bug me now. You can now donate interesting items to the museum. And do be mindful of what you give us, says Elga before you leave. She smiles oddly. The stranger the exhibits, the stranger the museum. Fair enough. So, that is that. Anything else we can do? Wander the streets. That doesn't cost us anything. Why don't we do that? Dull booms from inside the factory. Screams from the howling pits. The city awaits you. You wander your old haunts. You have a weight of history here. Pauper's College is utterly unchanged. The professors are absent-minded or simply absent. The students are riotous. The ragstacks breathe and pages flutter and fall. You end up whirling away the afternoon with one of your old tutors, who catches you up on all the sordid affairs and wine-soaked debauches that have taken place in your absence. So we've got some gossip. Nice. We better slip away. What else we got open to us? We have the Howling Pits. You have a contact at the mines. You may be able to buy something illicit. This is available because you have former profession miner. Why not? You meet your contact in the outskirts of the dead zone. He flicks away his cigarette as you approach. They pulled up a good crop of fossil ghosts, he tells you. Enough that could hide one away for you if you want it. It's going to cost me 80 guineas. I have no idea what it is. Do I want to buy a fossil ghost? I presume this is going to change every now and then, so we should probably take whatever advantage we can when we can. And 80 guineas, yeah, why not? Why not? We got a fossil ghost now. What's it say about a fossilized ghost? A clump of compressed ectoplasm encasing a squirming soul. And we can burn it in our... Oh, right, so we can burn it for fuel, or we can abandon it. Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Alright, so what else can we do here? We can advertise for a new crew member. We definitely need to do that. And we can travel through our fetch mirror. Well, we're not too fussed by that because we're in the exploration stage of the game. So let's advertise for a new crew member. You meet your contact in the outskirts of the dead zone. He flicks away his cigarette as you approach. They pulled up a good crop of fossil ghosts, he tells you. Enough that he could hide one away for you if you want it. Oh, sorry. My bad. That was my bad. I pressed the wrong one. I meant to click on advertise a new crew member. Days or weeks or months in a scuttling tin can, surrounded by strangers with questionable morals and mental health and a significant risk of death or worse. Who would want to join your expedition? I agree. I agree. You hope the new prospects don't question why you're in constant need of new crew. You can put up a poster by the kinetopede station, which is cheap but ineffective, or you could take out advertising space in one of the city's many newspapers, which will cast a wide net and doubtless attract prospects, but will be moderately expensive. So if we put up a poster, it will cost us 10 guineas and our self-respect. Now, all the station's walls are covered in scraps of paper, some many years old. No one pays attention to these things. Or we can put a advertisement in the newspaper, the Civilian Times, the Key Bearer's Journal, the Hollow Trumpet, the Pioneer, Decisions. That will cost us 50 guineas. Or we can do an on second thoughts. You know what? For 10 guineas, I'm just going to pull it up. We'll just see what happens. We are needing a crew member, so hey ho. You put up a poster on a wall in the North Station. It's already plastered with scraps of paper, some of them torn and yellow with age. You try to find a prominent spot. You wait one day. Who will respond? Oh, we've got a guard. Lives down in the lower decks, provides protection, looms menacingly. I don't know what we lost. Does it matter? Probably not. And to be honest with you, grit is good. That is so we can attack people more. So why not? We got space for him. Let's take him on. What else can we do? So now it's stuff which is going to cost us. Which, well, yes, isn't the best. I'll tell you what, let's write this freelance article, seeing as we have some current affairs. We'll just see what it does. Speed and style are more important here than quality. You write up your information in terse passages and garnishing the truth with speculation and a few well-placed lies. Write a freelance report on current affairs in Clayton's Mill. Because Clayton's Mill is nearby, you will not receive a bonus. Oh. Well, let's do it just to see what happens. The Hollow Trumpet are willing to accept freelance work. They're the biggest tabloid in the city and they'll pay best, though they won't appreciate you. The second option is the Pioneer, a magazine for explorers and travellers. They'll naturally be interested in your work and they pay quite well. Or then there's the Key Details, a semi-satirical or satirical paper known for tweaking the noses of censors. You won't get paid well, but you might do some real journalism occasionally. Or by selling your freelance work to one of these papers, you will be able to build a reputation with them. Maybe one day you'll land an exclusive contract. Okay, Well, seeing as we have just... The Pioneer, magazine for explorers and travellers. Seeing as we've just spent 80 gold, or 80 guineas, I think it's good to get that 80 guineas back. So we'll go submit your report to the Pioneer. The Pioneer gives you article, a double-page spread of its own, and displays your name prominently. However, the magazine evidently has issues with circulation. You don't see anyone reading it in the street, and most hawkers don't carry a copy for sale. Still, money is money. Yes, I concur. The editor sends you a personal letter brimming with praise. Nice. And then it's stuff which is going to cost us. So, for the sake of 1 guinea, I think it's worth gathering news. Gaggles of hawkers can be found on every corner, spitting and fighting and yelling. A guinea is enough to buy several papers. Let's do it. A slow news day. Some new anti-radical legislation has been passed. A minor scandal has erupted involving links between various noblemen and the Hang Nat mob. Wow. I completely messed that up. The Hang Not mob is what I meant to say. Gained 1 current affairs, City of Keys, which is A-OK. It's always worth keeping up to date. I presume that's something we'll be able to do in most cities. So can I actually sell that on now if I wanted to? I don't think so. We do, however, have a prospective passenger. A hunched figure waves you down at the station. A ragged ghoul asks for safe passage to Eld Aprathat. He will pay you 100 guineas on arrival. He draws his coat close as he steps aboard. He is trusting his life to a stranger. Oh, you know what? I don't know where that is, but I appreciate the money, so we'll go with that. Why not? And well, we can take our ghoul passenger captive. No one needs to know. And we'll gain a ghoul prisoner. I'm not feeling bad to do that. There's no need to do that. I think we are done here, bar from resting and recovering, which is probably worth doing. The darkness has been getting to all of you. Your crew want a few days to blow off steam. Why not? You wake up in the gutter with a splitting headache and no memory of the last few nights. What just happened? Your old habits got the better of you again, but when you finally piece your crew back together, you seem in much better spirits, or they seem in much better spirits. Obviously, whatever happened was good fun. So sanity recovers slightly. You spent 3 days partying at the City of Keys. Oh yeah, what did you even do last night? You feel slightly sheepish, but your crew have smiles on their faces. And we're now anxious. Let's do that again. Same thing happened. And we're now steady, which is awesome. We'll have a quick look, quick look in the shops. And I think we'll call it here. So, Crossward's Intercellular Essentials, a factory-owned business operated by the sharp-toothed jovial Julius Crossward. So we can buy fuel, which I'm not too fussed about. The Plinky Susan, which is a gun. A Crossward's Improved Driver, a smooth, reliable engine. Yeah, not too fussed by that. Mark II Scuttlers. Are your standard model legs. Oh, okay. So a little bit quicker, I'd presume. See, the only thing that annoys me is I know I don't have anything at the moment on my kinetopede, but Plinky Susan. She plinks away at the enemy's hull. Low damage, medium accuracy. But it doesn't really have much stats. So this is low damage, medium accuracy. Plinky Susan again. So not really worth doing. We have our flare. Well-timed flare can drive away the manifestations. A new box car. Okay, so we can add on extra cars. That's good. Another box car. And then, so that's mainly to do with the kinetopede, which is fine. We then have the Skin Candle Market. The market burst past the borders of Skin Candle Square long ago. A shambling anarchy of stalls, tents, shopfronts and thieves. We have a coffee hazard. Never fall asleep again, shouts the street trader. Not even if you want to. Again, doesn't really tell you a lot about it. We have ineffective remedy. Cures all ills, claims the trader. Cured my grandmother's lumbago and my daughter's flu. I could be selling this for 10 times the price, but I'm a humanitarian at heart. We have a sack of salt. Make a circle of salt and you'll keep the monsters away, he shouts. Also, you can put it on food. Sounds good. Then we have the bestial remnants. Get your genuine meat. This street trader is scabbed and toothless. He is selling unappealing lumps of animal, some with the skin still attached. I'm not fussed by any of those. Nothing jumps out to me as being essential right now. We then have the Gulbenkian traders. This consortium is a trade conglomerate with influence throughout the 7 cities. The huge trade hall on Gulbenkian Street is a centre of operations here. And they sell stuff. The merchant hides his eyes behind dark glasses on the ward in iron. A rank silk even. The merchant hides his eyes. They all say the same. Gunpowder, lumber, chillstone, undreamt treasure, which is mega good to sell, but he doesn't buy it. So I'm guessing those are curios like in Sunless Sea. And then we have Dr. Grindylow's exotic goods. Although his shop sprawls in one of the nastiest parts of Sticky End, superstition keeps thieves away. And we have occultist paraphernalia, gallows candles, the fetch mirror, which is good, an enchanted gimmick, an ancient grimoire. You don't want that old thing. Or take it off your hands. So again, it seems like he sells a lot of this stuff. I don't know what the gallows candle does or the occultist paraphernalia. I'm not just going to buy into those just yet. I think we'll end it right there. So we have done as much as we can do here, I feel. We might as well crack on going, well, somewhere in the next episode. We'll consult our crew, the main officers, see what they have to say. We'll go through all of those, see if we can get an inkling on where to head. We'll check our current missions we've got at the moment as well, and get on with it. So there you go. That be that. So thank you for watching. As always, a like is appreciated, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy.